In this video, you will learn about 12 of the biggest mistakes that almost every investor makes, according to Warren Buffett. I will admit a few of my own investing sins along the way to be a good sport. This is a Swedish investor bringing you the best tip and tools for reaching financial freedom through stock marketing investing. Number 1. Timing the market. Focusing too much what the general stock marketing is doing is one thing Warren Buffett considers a great mistake. One is so easy to commit that even his investing role model Benjamin Graham was doing, i.e. The tide of the auctions can both raise and sink all the ships. You successfully identified a great stock but got clobbered because COVID stuck. Then you found another awesome company only to face raising interest rates, inflation's war. What the hell? I think this is why trying to predict what happens on a macro the level of the economy is so alluring. We want to buy the dips and sell the highs. It sounds so easy, right? Warren Buffett say that one must only focus to things in life, the important and knowable. I don't know what interest rate hike Jerome Powell will announce during Fed's meeting. Heck, I don't even think that Jerome Powell himself know that. So Warren Buffett doing, instead, identifying superior companies' fair prices. Recognizing that a ship's superior is a lot easier than predicting every storm that may come far, far in the future. Sometime there will be hurricanes and thunders, and one of the ships may sink. But other times your ship have the wind their back. Trust that, over time, you will do well by getting on the best boats. Number 2. Getting attached to your purchasing price. Have a look at this graph which represents share price on Amazon during the last 5 years. Arnold purchased the stock in June 2022, and he is now setting on a price 5 present return. On the other hand, Ben purchased the company in July 2021, and he has lost 38 present. And then Katie's who purchased Amazon 5 years ago, and she is now sitting on a nice 133% return. How's the company going to perform from now on? After all, Amazon sell it 50% more in a year. Arnold, Ben, Katie will all make a 50% from today's level. They are not treated too differently. They treat investor who have lost 38% on their holding, and those have gained 133% exactly the same going forward. Warren Buffett thinks you should always pretend that you always have a blank slate. You'll soon hear about sibling to this mistake. A mistake Buffett calls his biggest mistake by far. Number 3. Aggressive growth projection. Have you ever thought to yourself, this stock look quite expensive? I'm certainly not advising that you should stay away from growing companies. Buffett loves to companies that can grow, especially if they can do so without the need for too much capital. Bud grow at any price, which has been the mentality on Wall Street during these time to low interest rates. That's a trap. Among S&P 500 companies from 2012 that still exist under the same track symbol today's, only 40 companies to manage to grow at 50% or more. That about 1 in 10, it easy difficulty to 1 in 10 company. Investors in the Teslas, Intuits, and Nvidias the world beware. Number 4. Using a lot of leverage. Using a lot of leverage is the financial equivalent of playing Russian's roulette. Sure, I'll gladly accept risk of blowing my brains out. Investing really isn't a game that was created for the impatient. And nothing screams desperate like a portfolio full of borrowed money. Why leverage is so dangerous? It's because if you are in borrowing money, you can be right about something, but you are not allowed to play your hand, so you lose, anyways. Let me explain. Harry, the hedge fund manager, decides to short GameStop on March 15, 2022. When Harry is shorting GameStop, he is still using leverage, but he is borrowing shares instead of cash. Warren Buffett hates the shorting for the some reasons that he hate most leverage. Harry borrows and sells shares worth $1 million and deposits $500,000 in initial margin requirement, something the broker wants him to have in the account. GameStop is valued at no less than 20x his best performing year in a decade, and the business has been a terrible headwind during last 5 or 6 years. In other words, Harry's sitting a pretty good hand, maybe not pocket aces, but perhaps pocket queens. Well, no matter, he is never going to be allowed to play that hand. Harry knows is broken, then $1.6 million is GameStop shares, plus he need to put up something called maintenance margin requirements, in total around $2.1 million. This is when his broker issues a margin call of $6,000,000. Money that Harry must transfer to his account for the broker to be comfortable keeping the position. But just a week later, the shares sell for $47. He now owes his broken almost $2.5 million in GameStop shares. And you guessed it, they issue another margin call. This time it's for $1.1 million, which is more than Harry can afford. And he decided to close the whole position at a $1.5 million loss. And I think that the imaginary Harry will be proven right eventually. But the use of leverage, he is never going to be able to profit from that prediction. Number 5. Missing the forest of the trees. 3 things. The future economics of the business and industry, the management, the price. If you get these 3 things right, you don't have worried about every detail of a business.